brightest day and blackest night, no sickness shall keep me from podcasting. Hey, welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
As you can tell, I'm really sick. This change of weather has really gotten to me. We still have gotten our comics, and we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about. The Wii U, some movies coming out. Black Friday, of course. That's the big one.
We're going to start off with our comics. We have Bravest Warriors #2. It's created by Pendleton Ward, who also created Adventure Time, which if you guys follow us, that's one of our favorite comics right now. This particular issue was written by Joey Cameo.
Yeah.
How you'd say it. Really, it was a great follow-up to the first one. I felt it still gave you that bit of all the characters. There were some really, really funny points. Your brother was cracking up through the whole issue. It was hilarious. A
lot of dialogue, too. A lot more dialogue, as we mentioned, than in the Adventure Time books. And you actually have your editor notes, and this one, do you remember if the first issue had that?
I don't remember that they did. I remember I kept looking for them, because that's very prevalent in Adventure Time.
They made it a point to actually let you know that it does have that at the bottom. On the very first page, it's all in brown, but the text is in a bright color, so that your eye kind of catches that, and you're like, okay, well now I got to keep an eye out for that as I continue on. One of the main characters has a phobia of clowns, and they're going to this planet to save these clowns. And they are really depressed, they're sad, but they kind of catch on to the fact that there is something behind it all. It's not just them being sad, but it's something that someone causing this sadness or a group of people.
Yeah, it was a good, I think my favorite part was the first part of the issue where, like he said, the one character does have a phobia of clowns, so they're trying to get him over this phobia. And so one of the characters' solution was to put spider eggs in his brain so that they hatched and spiders crawled out of his mouth. And one of the characters is like, well, how does that fix anything? And she goes, well, after you've had spiders hatch in your brain, how are you going to be scared of anything else, like wimpy clowns? Or the scene with the almighty evil, which was the two-headed cat. And the solution was one of the characters asks them on a date. So I thought that was really funny. It's a lot of good humor, a lot of adult humor, which I didn't expect to find.
And the online cartoon, which is what this is based on, is even more adult than the actual comic book. You can see episode 2. I put up an annotation on the video if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Podbean or iTunes, there should be a YouTube link. If not, on our Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. But make sure to see episode 2 and episode 1. It's a really good series. A lot of people have been pushing for this to go on Adult Swim. I think it's fine on YouTube. They're probably making more money from streaming it on the internet anyway. I also read Simpsons Comics number 196. This one was written by Ian Boothby. It was drawn by John Costanza. You also read this one. It's a compilation of 3 stories. 3, not fairy tales, but more like classic novels made into Simpsons stories. The first one was The Portrait of Dorian Gray, and they just kind of substitute Bart Simpson into it. It's not the first time they've done it. When they released The Simpsons online, they did like this 100-page special, and it was basically the exact same thing. It wasn't too funny, and this is another one of those. There's not a plot like there was in the last Simpsons comics. It's more of a library's going all digital, so they're going to get rid of the books. Well, Lisa and Bart take the books to the retirement home in Springfield. Lisa and Homer take the books to the retirement home in Springfield, and from there, Grandpa Simpson reads the stories that are...
Well, he tells them he gets classics, and he goes, oh, these are some of the greatest ones, let me read them to you, Homer. He's like, you never read to me as a kid. He's like, oh, well, maybe it was a dog. But he can't find his glasses, or some other old man took his glasses. So he goes, I'll just tell you from memory. So I'm sure they're all messed up. I've never read the original classics. I'm terrible, I probably should. But I'm going to go with this as my pass for the week.
This is my pass also.
Yeah, it wasn't anything outstanding. Next we have Justice League. This one is one of my personal favorites this week for obvious reasons because of my superpower. We're continuing with the Cheetah line where they're following Cheetah through the Amazon to find the tribe that she originated from. And in the last issue, Superman was turned into a cheetah and starts attacking the Justice League. And there are tons of gay Superman moments, and it just made my day.
Yeah, they talk to the tribes people, and they give you kind of a more background to the character of Cheetah. How she is, it's like a possession, correct?
Yeah. The cheetah was meant to be their protector. When Barbara is her name, became the cheetah, she corrupted what the cheetah was because she was evil herself.
Yeah, because she wasn't a good person. Half of the issue is them trying to cure Superman, and the rest of it is trying to stop Cheetah.
There's some hilarious gay Superman moments. You pick any page and I'll make him gay. But especially the ending. Do we have that one up there?
I can put it up there.
Okay. Well, in the end, they finally save Superman and Cheetah. They captured Cheetah. And you find out that it was all part of her plan to actually end up in Belle Rev. The ending where Diana is all sad because she doesn't understand why she does this anymore. And Superman's like, come on, I'll show you. And they go to Smallville, and, you know, he pretty much says this is his reason for being Superman, is to save Smallville and Batman. And takes her to this secluded field, and then they're in each other's arms and kissing, and then you zoom in on Superman's cape, and there's a tracking device, and the final page spread is Batman looking at a computer. Now, most of you would probably argue this is Batman being gay for Superman by spying on him being with Diana. You would be wrong. You see, in the last page, Batman is actually watching something else, like, I don't know, MasterChef or something. Let's just throw something out there. This is Superman's thoughts that Batman's really watching him. Superman probably planted the locator on himself to try and make Batman jealous.
It's not going to work. Also, the cover to it is Superman attacking Batman.
Yes. Superman's in full-on cheetah-licious mode, attacking Batman because he's so fabulous, and Batman probably looked at another woman, and he's jealous. And
Don't look at anyone else.
He's jealous housewife mode right there. Where did that lipstick come from? It's not mine.
I read Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 17. This one continues the United We Stand story. There is a war in Wyoming where a lot of the characters are getting ready to make a stand against Hydra. And on the front line, you have Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Captain America, who is the president of the U.S., and if you haven't been reading, he's there fighting as well. But this issue is all about Miles still not being used to being Spider-Man. He really can't fight. He doesn't really know how to. He's out of his element. He's not in his little city. This is a full war, and you see the toll it takes on Miles. Also, his parents, all of New York, is kind of held. It's like a prison for these people. You have S.H.I.E.L.D. keeping people from going to their home. You have Hydra recruiting people left and right, telling them if you want freedom, you're going to have to join us. And Miles' father actually accepts one of the weapons from a Hydra member, and you assume that maybe he might join Hydra. And that's what this story, what Ultimate Spider-Man's always been about. It's always been about that conflict that Miles has with his parents, his family. You saw that big one with his uncle, and that turned out really well. Personally, I still can't wait for this United We Stand stuff to end, because if you're not reading Ultimates, or any of the other Ultimate books, if you're just reading Ultimate Spider-Man, you are going to be lost. You're going to be thinking, why can't this continue in the Spider-Man story? So hopefully a couple more issues, and we'll get right back to Spider-Man and how he's dealing with some more of his problems, whether it's family or his superpowers. 16.1, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, that was really good, though. So absolutely pick that up for J. Jonah Jameson. 17, that's not my pass of the week, but it wasn't the best one.
Lastly, we have Catwoman, number 14. This is the last part of her Death of the Family, correct? Where she actually finally confronts the Joker. If you remember in the last issue, she was dealing with somebody set up like a chess match, and she had to find the pawn, and it turned out to be a child. And she saved the child, and it opens in this where she confronts the Joker, and he actually has a bomb strapped to the child's chest, and he says, I'll let him go if you come with me to hell, is what he says. So she agrees, and he proceeds to torture her. And I thought it was a pretty good issue. I enjoyed the romance of it. It was a love story.
The whole point of the book is that Joker wants Catwoman to help him in breaking Batman. He says at one point, you loving him and being in love and him feeling that is making him soft. And I don't want that. I want real Batman. And that's what the whole point of Death of the Family is so far, is that's what we think it is, that Joker wants a true Batman. He wants Batman to be like the Joker is. Nothing holding him back. he compares everything to a chess board. So he wants Catwoman to be the Black Queen and sacrifice the pawns and take down Batman. And at one point she does say, I am not in love with him. I don't love him.
No, she does love him because he talks about her marrying him. And she's like, yep, totally thought about it. So, see, she wants
and then she goes, ugh.
But no, because it's the idea of marriage that she doesn't like.
Otherwise, though, Talia always calls Batman beloved. She loves Batman.
Yep, and when we started Catwoman, we saw them having a fun time.
Batman has a fun time with everyone. Does that mean he loves them all?
No.
Okay, then.
But I think Catwoman's better for Batman than Talia. Did we not just watch that episode where Talia turned on him? Yes, she did.
She did, and sometimes she works for Ra's, and sometimes she works for Batman.
That's
but
terrible.
when it comes down to...
She can't be all wishy-washy.
Every time it comes down to between Ra's...
She's trying to kill their son.
No. Every time it comes down to between Ra's al Ghul and Batman, she always tends to side with Batman, because that is the right side. That is morally the better choice.
Catwoman's trying to save Batman right now. Where's Talia? Trying to kill their son. That's where she is.
She's running the League of
She's trying to kill their son.
Somewhere.
Putting out, what was it, $24 million bounty or a ridiculous amount of money to kill their son. Whereas Catwoman is trying to save Batman. Where she's like, no thanks, Joker. I'm going to save my man.
Well, some of that also came from Batman Incorporated, which has your favorite author in it, Grant Morrison. So you can't really blame that Talia story on Talia.
No, I blame that all on Talia.
But this is the last part, like you said, of the Death of the Family. Would you say you would need to read this for Death of the Family? Is it a true tie-in?
Not really. I think they're doing a better job with, Batgirl was amazing.
Much better tie-in.
Batman and Robin, Batman. Those, I think, are crucial. We are reading that, I guess you call them the outlying characters as well. I liked it because I like Catwoman. I like the dynamic of Catwoman and Batman. I like that Joker admitted that he loved Batman. I thought that was funny.
She's like, you're the one that's in love with him. He's like, I know I'm in love with him. And we weren't really surprised, were we?
No.
Calling him as king. And yeah, he compared himself to a jester, but wouldn't it be crazy if they just made Joker, literally, I'm just gay for Batman, too?
Everyone's gay for Batman. I thought we determined this.
Yeah, you're right.
From the beginning.
Who isn't gay for Batman?
Go ahead and name a character. We'll tell you how they're gay for Batman.
Cyborg.
Gay for Batman.
How?
Because he's impressed by all his mechanical things that he knows. And he knows how to push the computer buttons just right. On the information that he needs.
Hold on, I gotta name one more here.
You won't find one. This is my other superpower.
No, wait. John Stewart from the Green Lantern Corps.
He's impressed by his battle skills. It's one of those, he's not going to be out front about it because he's got Hot Girl. But if they were in a situation and it was just them two in the foxhole, foxholes and Batman, it would happen.
Well, John Stewart would try and Batman would just go,
no.
Enough. No more of this.
And then John Stewart would go around the corner and make a Green Lantern bat, a little green...
Okay, fine.
He'd use his ring.
Sinestro. I think I got you.
No. I'm sure Sinestro's gay for Batman. Everyone's gay for Batman. Has Sinestro really interacted with Batman?
Someone should ask him. Batman, is everyone gay for you? That's just him back glaring, by the way. That's silence, just a back glare.
Yes. But no, if Sinestro watched... Okay, the first episode of New 52 Justice League, when Batman walks up and Green Lantern's being all cocky and he just takes his ring and he's like, what the hell is this? Sinestro would have been done right there. Done. Oh, yes. Bested Hal Jordan. There you go. So he just hasn't been in a situation where he can become gay for Batman.
We haven't gotten any submissions for pictures of Superman and the challenge for Kelli to somehow make him super gay for Batman.
It's because no one can find a picture where he's not gay for Batman. Doesn't exist.
That must be it. If you do have one, tweet it over to us at ReasonsI'mBroke, and then we'll talk about it in the next podcast. Big release. We talked a little bit about it in the last one. The Nintendo Wii U finally came out, and it's available in most of the bigger retailers too. From what I heard, Target and Walmart. They were sitting on both versions, the white and the black systems. As a reminder, the white systems were standalone. They didn't come with the 32 gigabytes, and they came with no game, and they're only $300.
They were 8 gigs.
8 gigabytes. The Black Deluxe version is $350. Comes with Nintendo Land, 32 gigs, and a charging cradle for the gamepad controller. If you're waiting for a black one, do keep in mind that you can install your own external hard drive to it through the USB port on the Wii U system. So I think they said that it would support up to 2 terabytes of memory. Probably will grow later on as they do like a firmware update. So if that's what you're waiting for, don't even worry about it. Buy an extra hard drive. Why? Because Nintendo Land, honestly, it's not the Wii Sports of the Wii U. Wii Sports is one of those games that people can still play today and have that much more fun. Nintendo Land is a party game. It wears off in about an hour of play.
Most people are jerks when they play it.
Most of the games, I felt like I couldn't get any more entertainment after 2 or 3 plays. Even though I was playing with a couple of other people, I was like, maybe the Luigi's Mansion one was kind of fun. But other than that, there wasn't really anything too special there.
Well, when you're being a jerk and hiding and not letting me catch you.
I'll admit I camp when I play the Luigi's Mansion thing and I'm the ghost. Hell yeah, I'm going to camp. He
camps. And then I'm over here like, oh no, my partner's down. I'm going to risk my own life to save them. And he's like, nah, gotcha, bitch. And I'm like, I'm trying to be nice here. And he kills me.
I'm not camping. I'm Batman, all of you.
No. And then you play that one where you like run away from people and he just hides behind something. Because he can see where we are, but we can't see where he is.
I don't hide. I wait.
No, you were hiding. You even said, you're like, look, here's the part where I'm hiding from you.
The Luigi's Mansion like minigame. One of you is a ghost, and the rest of you are ghost hunters. Not like that shitty show on Sci-Fi, but where none of that shit's real. And they have batteries with. They have flashlights with batteries, and the more they flash, the less battery they have, and they can eventually run out. They have to get more battery packs. The only way they can catch the ghost is if you shine the flashlight on them, and then you have to shine it on them, I think, 4 or 5 times to beat the ghost. Meanwhile, the ghost can't be seen except on the gamepad, where you have the whole entire map on you, and you can catch them from there. What makes that one fun is that when you get near one of the other players, their Wii remotes start vibrating, so they will know, and they start frantically like turning on their flashlights in front of them and behind them. And there's a little bit of strategy in it because you have to wait for that right moment to actually get them, because they can turn around at any time and get you with the flashlight. So that one I think is the best one. But overall, Nintendo Land, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth buying on its own. If you got it with the Black Wii, trade it in. Try to sell it online if you can. You can probably get more that way. And get New Super Mario Brothers Wii U. I don't know what they're calling it. Mario Brothers U. That one is fun. The levels aren't as creative or inspired as the ones on the Nintendo DS or even on the Wii, which I think was really good. It was really challenging. But it is still the best game on the Wii U at the moment, not counting Arkham City or Mass Effect 3.
Or Scribblenauts.
If you haven't played either of those games on the other systems like the 360 or the PlayStation 3, by all means, get those. Arkham City is one of the best games ever made. It's not, well, it's probably because I love Batman, but it's really, really, really good game. The voice acting is superb, except for Harley Quinn, who they got rid of Arlene Sorkin for the sequel. But Kevin Conroy's back, and Mark Hamill, probably his last performance in the video games as the Joker. I'm sure he'll come back if they end up doing the Killing Joke as an animated movie. Mass Effect 3, Arkham City, Mario Brothers U. Those are the 3 Wii U games that you need.
And speaking of updates, before we move on, there is talk about an update that the Wii U will play Blu-rays, correct?
That's right. It's the Wii U game discs are Blu-ray. So Sony is getting a little cut of that.
Good job, Sony.
And the next Xbox is also going to do Blu-ray discs. So there you go.
Sony's making a lot of money.
The good thing about it for everyone else is less games to be scratched. It's going to be a lot harder to damage a Blu-ray disc than a regular CD or DVD.
Right. So all over, I think, is going to be a very solid system with a lot of versatility.
Yeah, at the moment, though, I would say wait on buying one. Wait for more games. Wait for the newer manufacturing version of it to come out. I'm not saying like a newer entire revision of it, but there are different versions of what the factory set out. You know, different parts, whether or not they're better quality or they just were able to buy them at a cheaper price. Those are usually a little bit better. They tend to last longer if you buy a Wii now than if you did before. That problem that it has where it doesn't read your games because of the lenses, that got corrected in the newer ones than in the older Wii models, especially if you got it at launch. Anytime you buy anything at launch, you tend to have a little bit more problems with it than later on. Speaking of Arkham City, I finally got the final holiday for the Calendar Man. That was for Thanksgiving Day. And if any of you don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do, when you visit the Calendar Man in Arkham City for every major holiday once a month, so for February it'd be Valentine's Day, for December it'd be Christmas Day.
And they picked some really funny ones, like wasn't there Veterans Day? There was a really weird one, Columbus Day, something like that. So, and they actually have all those listed, the dates on the board.
Right next to his cell.
Right next to his cell.
And they'll get crossed out as you do them. But if you do them all, which when you visit him on those days, he'll talk a little bit about the holiday and compare it to some way in which he murdered someone. Or I think on Halloween he talks about how Batman stopped him, but it was too late because he had already poisoned some kids and people or something.
Everybody in Arkham got loose and went to a costume party somewhere. And nobody realized that they actually had these madmen with them because they were all in costume and they were just dressed normally. It's pretty spooky.
Yeah, those are creepy stories. And when you do all 12 of them, not only do you get a trophy or an achievement, you go back to his cell and there's just this body hanging there where he used to be of a guard or a thug or something, and just a bunch of calendar pages all throughout the room. Pretty cool, I think. It'd be nice to see him in the next game, in the third game, kind of like how they gave Clayface a cameo in the first Arkham, in the Arkham Asylum, and then spoilers, he ended up being one of the main villains for the end of the story in Arkham City.
This week we also had Adventure Time on the 3DS come out.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a chance to play it, but we will be posting an unboxing because we got the collector's edition later this week. I'm really excited for it. I know there have been some mixed reviews. The collector's edition I think is going to be amazing. The stuff that they listed with it was really cool.
Yeah, I put up an annotation on the video here if you're watching on YouTube. Do check out the unboxing. It was pretty limited. They didn't send out too many unless you pre-ordered it or ordered it online. And our review of the actual game will come later on. Probably in 2 or 3 podcasts from now, because we still got to beat Pokemon. I'm still playing Code of Princess, I think that's what it's called. New Super Mario Bros. U. I'm still in the middle of trying to beat that.
And how's your Pokemon going? You cheated your way through finally?
Yeah, I know I said I wouldn't play anymore, but I found an Action Replay code. So in a way, Action Replay saved me again.
No.
And to anyone that's not familiar, I couldn't my Action Replayed Pokemon game, because yes, I cheated because I wanted a Bulbasaur. Didn't register strength when I got it, my rival gave it to me, and when I got to Victory Road, you need strength to get through it. So there was no way I can get through it unless I traded over a Pokemon that knew strength. Well, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it from White. Well, my White character didn't have strength either, so I couldn't trade a Pokemon that knew strength over to White too. I was like, oh, now I really am, I'm fucked. But when I looked online on the Action Replay thing, there's a code to walk through walls, so I just walked through those bitches. Like, those boulders were nothing. I even climbed through some mountains. You didn't even know you could do that. Like, you can climb up the textures of the mountains, and I was like, screw these trainers, I don't need to fight these guys, I'm just going to go straight to the Elite Four. And I saved right before them, so I'm probably going to, when I get some time, I'm going to beat the Elite Four and see what else happens afterward.
Cheating your way through. See, good people like me put in those hours and that hard work, so I feel accomplished when I beat the game.
But I had more fun.
In case anyone's following my Pokemon journey, I did not have a chance to play this week. I'm hoping I finally get 2 days off this next week. No more of this 1 day off bullcrap. So I'm hoping to sit down for a couple hours. It'll probably end up being like 6 or 10 hours when I should be doing homework, and get really far and let you guys know how that's going as well.
For anyone bummed out about Black Friday if you didn't get any of the cool deals, don't be afraid to look at on Amazon. Obviously wait. A lot of the better deals actually come after the holidays. January, when everyone's returning their stuff and rebuying other things, a lot of stores are just trying to clear their inventory, so they'll put out a lot of movies on sale. But if you do look on Amazon right now, one of the things that I saw, and I bought it right away, Justice League Doom and All-Star Superman, both on Blu-ray, I think are only $8. And that qualifies for free shipping if you get 25 or over. Also, The Dark Knight Rises comes out in a couple of weeks. I want to say December 4th. That's the third in the Nolan trilogy. That one is on Amazon for $25, right? But you can get the Dark Knight trilogy. That's Batman Begins, the best one in my opinion, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises for an extra $5, for $30. I tweeted about it earlier in the week. Spend the extra $5, even if you already have the first two movies. It's who doesn't want a backup of those two, or give them away to someone or resell them online, make a little bit of a profit. But once again, spend the extra $5, get the trilogy.
Merry Christmas! I got you 2 Batman movies, but not the third. Kept that one for myself.
I need Bane during the holidays.
Speaking of movies, this week something we're going to try and catch is Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis, who always does an amazing job. And we still haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph, but hopefully we'll be able to catch that this week as well.
Hopefully. From what I keep hearing from friends, is that most of the best parts are in the trailer, and it's not like how the trailer makes it seem to be, where he's running around all these video game places. One of my buddies, he told me that like the first 30 minutes or hour was just like nostalgia, and then it was like, oh, well, we got to tell a story, and then it goes back to a formula that we've seen before, which I hate. In kids' movies, I hate seeing that formula. The one that's most common is the one with the child or the character that the kids or the audience is supposed to relate to, that is trying to be something different, that's trying to go against the people around him. In How to Train Your Dragon, I think the kid was trying to be a hunter, a dragon slayer, but he wasn't very good at it. Instead, he becomes a dragon, master, whisperer. Yeah.
Dragon whisperer.
So it's like, yeah, we've seen this tons of times. I'm tired of it. I really hope Wreck-It Ralph isn't just, I'm in this video game where I destroy things, but I hate destroying things. I want to help people. I'd be like, oh, not again.
I think that's what it is.
Perfect. Great.
Okay, so never mind. We're not seeing Wreck-It Ralph this week. We will see Lincoln, and it will be amazing. And Daniel Day-Lewis will drink your milkshake.
I think that's all we have this week.
Yep, pretty slow week. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Whatever you celebrate for this holiday season coming up, hope you get everything that you wanted.
And we'll still keep doing the podcast every week. I know everyone's going to be busy, but we're going to do our best to keep them coming on Sundays or whenever we can post them. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. Let us know what made you broke this week. #ReasonsI'mBroke.
And don't forget, like we said earlier, we will have an unboxing of that Adventure Time coming up soon, so make sure you're on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I'll put up the annotation again. Hopefully it'll be done before I post this new podcast. But otherwise, thanks again for listening. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.